Right, hi guys, we're in the Defender today. I've got the old man along for the journey. Say hi.
Hi there.
Yep. So yeah, we've had the Defender now for a couple of weeks. Been driving it mostly on the road, and I got to say it is a pretty comfortable vehicle to live with. Quite a different proposition than the 70 series, of course. I'd probably say it's quite a bit more comfortable day to day than the 200. You got a 200, what do you think?
Yeah, the ride is just incredible. I think you have to get in one of these to understand just what it's like. The air suspension is just so smooth, beautiful.
Yeah, so it seems to be reasonably economical as well, but that seems to be very dependent on how you drive it. If you nurse it around, you get below 10 litres per 100. If you drive it normally, I'm getting a bit over 10, so still better than a 70, but it's unmodified, so that could potentially get worse over time. Today we are heading out to a private property out the back of Kawangbar that's owned by Australian four-wheel drive training that we've used. We've done some four-wheel drive training with them before. They kindly let us take the vehicle there to have a bit of a play with it. And today it's not about beating the vehicle up an absolute off-road capability because we don't really have any frontal protection on it. There's not really a major front underguard yet on the vehicle. It does have good underbody protection, so that's good. So we just don't want to damage it yet. So it's really about figuring out how the traction control works. This has got an optional active rear diff lock, which I believe is torque vectoring. So try to understand how that all works, ground clearance and stuff like that. On this, because it's got full air suspension, we can't modify it later down the track if we want more ground clearance. It kind of is what it is from the factory. So it has to be super capable out of the box. And that is something that Land Rover is known for. And obviously in a day, we're not going to know whether this thing is outback capable, durable, all that type of stuff. So I'm not even going to get into that. It's just about seeing how it goes. So it says on the map here we're 5 minutes away. So we'll get in there, drop the tire pressures, and hit the tracks. All right, so we've just arrived here at the Australian driver training facility out the back of Kawangbar. It is important that we did bring a spare vehicle. We dragged the 200 out again. It's got recovery duties today if I do get the vehicle stuck. And if we do get stuck, we have brought along some gear from our friends at Max Tracks. We have got the Max Tracks here in case things get muddy, we need a bit more traction. And we've got their new recovery gear here. That's stuff that we've played with their prototypes on previous rat runs, so we know it's going to be good stuff. So now we're going to figure out how to put it in low range and head up the hill and see if we can get it into trouble. One of the things we're interested to see today is that this vehicle has a tyre pressure monitoring system, TPMS, and it's got some different modes for heavy and light loads we found in the computer. But we're not quite sure what it's going to do when we drop the tyre pressures. I suspect it must have been programmed to handle that, but we're interested to see whether it throws any lights up on the dash or anything. All right, so I've just got back in the car after dropping the tyre pressures, and I do have a thing on the dash here telling me that the tyre pressures are low and I need to add air. I'm hoping I can clear it. It doesn't look like I can. Oh, there we go. We've got something cleared at the moment. We'll see whether it comes back. It might be, I think there's a method of resetting what the tyre pressure should be, so I might have to figure out how to do that depending on whether it becomes annoying. So we'll see what happens.
Right up that one on the right.
Of course.
Good.
I wasn't going to let it get off easily. There you go. You can see the wheels moving. It's pretty cool.
That.
I don't know whether you should be watching that whilst you're driving. I feel like that's something.
No, well, I can watch it.
You can watch it. Sure. There you go, that was a wheel in there, it just came down. But it's very smooth in its progression. So I've got a tiny bit of throttle on, just to walk it up. I'm not quite confident with the, what they call it, automatic terrain progress mode or something, which is meant to drive itself. But we'll get some experience with that as we go. Should be good on side angles because it's got quite a wider wheel track, kind of 200.
You take your foot off, or
I'm brave enough for that. There we go. Not. There you go. That's foot off, first low. So the big thing to is to go down there towards. This might upset it. So the big thing about this is whether as you drop into the hole, it accelerates a bit. You don't fully know how that is going to respond, but beautiful. Get a bit of a. It doesn't seem to phase it, does it? We're going to have to find something a bit more difficult to worry it. Low is very low.
Yeah, you'd expect that on that road.
First low seems to be quite good. I'll wind our way through some trees. It's alright if I scratch it, isn't it?
You can scratch it, you pay.
We really are going to have to find something a bit harder. It's just walking along. So as we're just working our way around the training area, just found a log bridge. I'm pretty sure wasn't here last time. So we're gonna give it a red hot go and hopefully we stay out of the creek. It actually looks pretty good. It's not like it's not a dodgy Cape York one, this one. What we will do, because we have the technology, we're gonna put the camera on, and we're gonna look through the bonnet so we know where the wheels are.
That's a good idea.
So, probably should not just rely on the so it looks, it's actually kind of disconcerting, that one. How are we going on the left there? That should be pretty good. I'm well in.
You're okay.
Okay. There we go. Driving it, don't drop into the hole now, we should be good.
Keep it straight.
And we're off. That's good. It's a good thing to have, but the perspective's a bit odd.
Yes.
Something like that. So I wouldn't completely rely on that, I don't think. If it's your concern, I think I'd still have a spotter or stick your head out the window, but it's a cool thing to have. All right, let's go and find something else. All right, so we're just heading to a section now where, when we had the trailer that was on the back, we had to do a bit of winching. We had a 2.5 ton trailer behind a 1HZ Land Cruiser with no lockers, so I'm expecting we should be able to do this pretty easily. It's just like, it's a little bit slippery and steep, so let's see how we go. degrees. Don't think that worried it at all. Interesting what it would be like with the 2.5 ton trailer on the back of it though.
That's where you might need the launch control.
The hold's nice, where you don't have to put the handbrake on.
Oh,
it just does
holds
it.
it indefinitely.
Yeah. You just mash your foot
That's
in
good.
and it does it. Not like the 70 where the handbrake doesn't work, even if you want it to. This should be where those wheel cameras should be good. Let's see where those trees were. That's engine braking. In hill descent. One foot off. Let's see what it does. This is about how refined the wheel speed sensor is, I think. So if it thinks it's not doing the right thing, and then it goes and launches itself forwards.
Touch what?
The accelerator or the brake.
Oh, really?
Do all it.
That's good.
I reckon I'm smoother.
We've got 26 up. That's 2 places we have 26.
Sped it up. All right, so we've been out here at the training centre for 3 or 4 hours now, putting the Defender through its paces, and I'm pretty well impressed. The traction control seems really good. It's done descents and ascents that are pretty steep, side slopes, stuff like that. It's really stable. The big thing we noticed is how stable it is dropping into holes and stuff like that. You don't get a lot of body movement and head toss doing that type of thing compared to what I've had with Land Cruisers before. So it's a really comfortable thing to drive off-road. Obviously from here we do need to put it through some harder stuff. We've got a few bit of articulation along the way, but nothing really getting wheels in the air and really testing it. So once we've got a bit more protection on it, we'll give that a go. The next thing we need to test is how it goes on the sand. I have been involved in recovering a few Land Rovers before, so really keen to see how this thing goes on the beach. So that's going to be in our next episode, so make sure you don't miss it.